I love you so much. Thank you for loving me back. We need 0 point energy here, which means no fear of me, no fear of you, no thought of anything that we always put up walls as humans because people are jerks. When we are in our inner child element, there's no jerk energy, only 0 point energy. This means all goodness. Mm-hmm. You have a older person coming forward. It says we 9 west. Definitely gonna look into your spirit animal, and I see you already. Take a picture, because what you're gonna want to do at this point, Simon, is see what I didn't see. Almost like Sherlock Holmes, you're going to investigate some of the things that you're seeing here. So take a screenshot, and you can actually print this out and do your own drawings with this yourself. So I'm going to look at your piece for a little minute. You have very, very, very large hands. There is a male energy that was holding, like cradling, but yeah, you definitely have wizard energy. And when you're into alchemy and you see a bearded man, it's always about a triangle going down, and the pointy hat on top is always about a triangle going up. It's not what, and you do have a beard and it's kind of like going down like this, but I just want you to know it's like a triangle going down and a triangle going up. You have language that I don't understand, but I'll show you what it looks like. Like that. Right there. Zip, zip, zip on a coin. Take a screenshot of this, because I don't know what it means. Yeah. You are a shield. You will become a shield if you aren't already. You have a couple of energies coming forward from you, and I don't know if they're from the spirit world. I'm not exactly sure, but I just felt this happy energy that you're here from spirit and from a male energy in particular. And this reminds me of the never-ending story. When you go through the gateway of the two oracles, the Lion's Gate, you're in another reality. But it is like a death. It's like going through death. Dying of who we thought we were. But it's also life. And you're here to become a master. Use your body for magic, in the sense that and being a shield. Let's go ahead and put that coin there. It goes like this, and it goes zip, so I don't know what that is. That was like the coin that you put in my hand when I shook your hand. You were like, ta-da. There's some energies of people coming forward. I don't know if this is past lives, to be honest. I don't always know. But these are these bearded men. They have white robes, they have beards, and they're connected to bird people. And this is your spiritual lineage. Although the horse is currently your spirit guide. That same letter is here, but it's more like this. I also don't know what that means yet. You have trees everywhere here. These are like tree people, like Entwives, Ents. Shamans say that the human soul looks more like a tree than any other species. And Jesus said, you know a man by the fruit of his tree. And really correlated human beings to trees. So that you may have been an Ent, because this person looks like a tree. And then you have these trees here, and the tree is a man, a bearded man, right? But he's a tree. And I guess they can bounce their consciousness into anything and everything, and they must have come here. Maybe the story is that trees came here, said, oh, look at those human beings or whatever, and oh, you have a dog? I'll let you look at it a little closer. Why don't we bounce our consciousness into their body? Into their bodies and see what it's like to be human. And then they're like, get us out of here, get us out of here. We immediately regret this decision, son of a bitch. But yeah, you have, so these trees are also dogs. I don't know what it's saying here, but it's like the trees are transforming into humans and dogs, and they bounce their consciousness into things, and they have the ability to move their consciousness around and everywhere. And then you have this hidden mother energy back here hiding, like almost like saying our consciousness is secret and hidden, and nobody knows what we do, because you cannot catch it. It's the uncatchable consciousness, uncatchable consciousness. And they're pouring out consciousness like, oh, our consciousness can go anywhere, like light, like a flashlight. So I don't know how that works. But I want you to see that this is a wall and you're going above the wall, but you have your feet in the lower realm, the realm of the dead. This is the moon energy. Be careful what you do. Your action is a prayer. So if you're into things that are death energy, this is food. Any kind of action that is against your spirit, that feeds your spirit death. Your spirit needs to be fed life energy in order to fully get above. And, you know, maybe you're like, well, I want to be balanced between the moon and the sun. I want to be in the middle. But the thing is, we came from the moon. We go to the sun to hear the truths from the sun. So this is all love, light, joy, yay. And we have to experience that. And then we can go to the middle. Why you're down here in your feet area, I'm not quite sure yet. Let's not judge it because I'm not sure. But you're wearing the robe just like this man, this bearded man. All right, let's find out why your hand is here and why you're holding what looks like a gun. A gun can be literal. It could also be a metaphor for someone who died suddenly that you know of. It can also be an allegory for like a thief in the night. You're going to bounce completely above the wall. It's something that happens instantly, like so fast, like a gunshot. Your hat also makes an owl. So you have two horses as your spirit guides, and there's these twins. Everything is a twin. 2 lions, 2 horses, 2 trees, 2 dogs. Your other dog is over here. Walking on a wall, too. Yeah, this symbol is everywhere. And there's more shields. Maybe you're in your time of setting boundaries and learning to become a shield against principalities and powers that you can't see, things that try to share your consciousness with you, things that try to manipulate your consciousness, and you are going to learn to keep people from coming in your mind, especially the people of the dead consciousness, people who try to telepathically, psychically contact you. Yeah, you also have this symbol. You have so many medallions. They're all circular medallions. They all say something very strange to me. And it's all in cursive writing. So when we went to school to learn to spell, we learned to cast spelling. And when we learned cursive writing, we learned to curse. When I see cursive writing, it could be a curse. I'm not sure. But this keeps coming again and again. I believe that I'm going to tell you what I think now. And you don't have to take my opinion as truth. I just want you to know that. Okay. Before Adam was cut into Eve, he had two souls. He was both Adam and Eve. Jesus' mother self-impregnated because she was part of that original Adam and Eve man before they were cut. Just because Adam was cut from Eve, doesn't mean that forever and ever all humans were cut from Adam from Eve, because it's told time and again that there were people living outside of the Garden of Eden, and we don't know who they were. So there are people who have two souls. They have both Adam and Eve within them that self-impregnates, and they are the androgynous ones. They're kind of like the vampire. When the vampire comes from Transylvania, and the story goes that they had two souls and that they were androgynous. And this is why you always see pictures of Jesus holding up two fingers, or Mary Magdalene holding up two fingers. And so the vampire says, "Drink my blood and live forever." Well, so did Jesus. Jesus said, "Drink my blood and live forever." This is a sign that he was part of that quote unquote vampire, Adam and Eve androgynous people. They know how to bounce their consciousness like a tree from one body to the next without losing memory, because they have two souls. All right. So you have two horses and two lions and two dogs, and you have Adam and Eve, two here, and you have the number two here, and you have two shields. So the people that self-impregnated, they are very powerful. They have memory of the past. They're a royal blood race, which is why you're wearing a gown. And I don't know much about them because I'm not one of them. I don't believe. Then there are people who have three souls. So there are people who have 1, 2, and 3. The people who have three souls are Adam, Eve, and animal. So Mithra was the original Jesus from Armenia, and they wore these pointy hats, just like that, like the top of a tree. And Mithra was born of a virgin, died and rose 3 days after, had 12 disciples, just like Jesus, but Mithra predated Jesus. And the Romans came and destroyed the god Ar from Armenia and decided to cut out the name Mithra and the original Christ because they wanted a new Christ. And so they renamed Mithra into Jesus Christ. So things were changed, right? But the secrets behind the people with the two souls, Mithra, let me explain it like this. Mithra, I believe that he flew. Anyway, he had a pointy hat like this, or it might look like that. And he had a bull. And this bull, the story of the bull goes that the weird thing is when you look at a picture of him cutting the bull, it shows the ear looking like a female anatomy and then this horn looking like a male anatomy, right? And it shows him cutting the bull, not at his throat, but in half, which is weird. When you sacrifice an animal, you don't cut him in half. You cut his throat, right? Well, he's cutting him in half. And the story goes that when he cut the bull turned into the moon. So, the story is that some people, and it could be that Mithra was one of them, was both Adam, Eve, and animal, kind of like the golden compass, where your animal was cut from you. The holy dove descending upon you is your animal coming back to you. I don't know how that works, but anyway. So many of us were born in the moon, which is the bull, And the god of the moon was named Sin. So we were born in sin. And when we wanted to awaken, we had to rebirth, be born again, birth our double, to go back to our original form, which was Adam and Eve. And then we go to the Trinity, which is Adam and Eve and the Holy Spirit, or an animal that we were cut from, like Osiris's body was cut. So when we double ourselves again, which we already were a long time ago, we go from sin to son. This is the Son of God. And so the metaphor and the allegory of going through the eye of the needle, here's the eye of the needle. This is the fish. This is the ankh. It's the all-seeing eye. It's a flame. It's a teardrop. It's many things. Then we've been born again, and we've grown from sin to son, from the moon to the sun. And the moon is, think about what the moon is. It's void of life. It's dark, right? And so like a tree, we were born in the dark underworld, and our roots were in the dark underworld, and we grew up toward the light, bearing fruits of virtue. So sin is shame, ignorance, and narcissism, and we awaken through the energy of the sun. So we've doubled ourselves. We've been born again. And then we will triple ourselves when we get our animal back. This is the Holy Spirit. And this is called the trifold flame, the triple flame. And this means you are now 3 souls in one. You won't die. Your consciousness will bounce to another body. So that you came from death, sin, the moon, and you've gone to the sun. You're going to remember some things, and your heart is going to be connected to the energy of the sun now, where in the matrix, the moon, the money system, that energy was all about the mind. And we've died of that. So dying before we die is letting go of that ego and opening our heart chakra to allow the energy of the sun to communicate with us. The dog is about Sirius B, the dog star. This means kind of like the allegory of Harry Potter when he left the Muggles, Munchkin's moon energy, and he went to Hogwarts. You're at 12 o'clock. When you're 12 years old, metaphorically speaking, spiritually speaking, when you're spiritually 12 years old, you have left the temple. So when Jesus was 12, he was in the temple, and then suddenly he wasn't in the Bible for a long time, and then he came back powerful, walking on water, when at 12 years old he was not powerful yet. And then when Harry Potter left the Muggles, he wasn't powerful at 12 years old, but then he had to release his father, his God and Father, which is Sirius B, the dog star, Sirius Black, the dog, who was in prison. So God is in a prison within your cells. And when we are all spiritually 12 years old, like an egg, God awakens within you out of the cells of your DNA, and you rebirth into another soul. So now you have 2 souls. This means you are no longer yourself. You are half flesh, half spirit. So this means that your higher self and spirit guides and animals and things will communicate with your heart, not necessarily your head, but there will be an awakening, a great awakening, and you'll learn to become a shield. And I would like to get into what that is, but I don't know yet. You are an ent originally. Interesting.